102 domestic properties in Clackmannanshire have been identified as having RAAC, including roughly 2% of the council's housing stock. And in October last year, 30 homeowners in Tillicoutry received a knock on their door, informing them that they had just 2 hours to gather their belongings and evacuate their property. I can only imagine the stress these people must have felt at being told that they had to leave their home. And understandably, the confusion they felt at such news meant that many left behind important documents such as driving licences or passports, as well as personal belongings and precious family heirlooms that, frankly, a monetary price cannot be put on. Nearly a year on, and those homeowners still haven't been granted access to retrieve their possessions. Amongst the residents that have been impacted by RAAC, I met with a couple who lived in their flat for 40 years. They had achieved the dream of home ownership. And when this hard-working couple had finally paid off their mortgage on their ex-council flat, they described it as a moment of immense pride and achievement. Those emotions have been replaced with anxiety and despair, and in no small measure, anger. Anger at the insurance companies. They have told the residents that there is no obligation to cover, as they say RAAC is not a named peril or insured cause. And after evacuation, some of the homeowners found themselves placed into hotels. Some chose to stay with family or friends. Some had to present as homeless and therefore be relocated to Clackmannanshire Council's temporary accommodation. Some others were relocated to bed and breakfast accommodation in Kirkcaldy in Fife, a town 31 miles away from Tillicoutry. What a situation to be in for those homeowners that work locally or have children in school or look after elderly relatives. Madam Deputy Speaker, nearly a year on, and these constituents live a life in limbo. Some are leading a nomadic existence, going from property to property. Some feel like a burden on their friends and family. Some tell me their physical and mental health has suffered. And some have told me that they are staring into the abyss, that their golden years of retirement have been snatched away because of the financial impact of what has happened to them. But all of them are united by the anguish of not having somewhere to put down roots and call home. The ever-reducing budgets provided to local authorities will likely mean that the solution my RAAC-impacted constituents need will have to be a collaborative effort. To reiterate, Clackmannanshire Council, like so many local authorities and the Scottish Fire and Rescue Service, know about budget cuts. And with housing being a devolved matter, and the Scottish Government announcing £500 million worth of cuts only last week, I fear that means the Scottish Government won't right this wrong either. And I say that with no criticism to the Scottish Government. My constituents don't want finger-pointing. They want action. And I warmly welcome the resetting of the relationship between the Scottish Government and this Labour Government. This new, positive working relationship is exactly the approach that my constituents from Tillicoutry will need for them to receive the equitable solution and justice that they deserve. And with that, I hope the Minister will meet with me to discuss possible solutions for the benefit of my constituents.